Good morning, 4-Point family! I'm Heather Oliver.
I'm Haley Oliver.
And we're doing your announcements.
Hey Mom, why are bicycles always falling down?
I have no idea.
Because they are too tired. What kind of key opens a banana?
I have no idea.
A monkey.
Oh, that's good.
What kind of room doesn't have doors?
I don't know.
A mushroom.
Mushroom.
Why did the boy throw a stick of butter out the window?
I don't know.
Because he wanted to see a butterfly.
Good morning, guys. We are going to have some fun. So let's get the game up. It is karaoke. Disney songs by Siri. She's going to say a few lyrics, and you're going to guess which movie it's from. I bet the kids are going to win. All right, let's go.
Frozen!
I guess the kids got it. Ryan. Good job, it was Frozen.
Aladdin!
Good job, it is Aladdin. Nice, yes, it is Mulan, guys. Let's do the next one. You got your words right. Come stand over here. Wow. Little Mermaid, thank you for the actual. Very good, guys. You're doing great. You're like professionals at this.
You are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
It's Pinocchio. Jens is absolutely 100% correct. It is Pinocchio. When You Wish Upon a Star. Next one, my fave.
Ain't no passing craze. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's our problem-free philosophy.
Lion King, Hakuna Matata. Yeah, guys. All right, we've got...
Put our service to the test. Tie your napkin round your neck, Cherie, and we provide the rest.
What's the name of the
So
song?
do your hot hors d'oeuvres. Why? We only live to serve.
You got it. All right, ready? This one might make you think.
Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon? Or asked the grinning bobcat why he grinned? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain?
Colors of the Wind by Pocahontas. You got it. All right. This is going to get stuck in your head.
What can I say except you're welcome? For the tides, the sun, the sky. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. You're welcome.
You're welcome. But in Moana. Yup, last one.
When the road looks rough ahead, and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said.
You got a friend in me. Toy Story. You guys rock. You're amazing. Give yourself a round of applause. Welcome to Forward Point.
Are you new to Forward Point? Well, we are a community of faith, hope, and love. We love helping people find their purpose. And we believe you were created on purpose, for a purpose. And we want to be a part of that story any way we can.
Right.
If you are new here, text WELCOME to 315-883-2213. Fill out the questions and we will send you a gift. What to expect this morning. Today is our family gathering. Things are a little different.
Yeah, they are. We do this every 5th Sunday of the month. So if there's 5 Sundays, we get the 5th one. What today is going to look like. You're going to have an opportunity to say hello with a slow 5.
During worship, you can rock out and sing some songs. Feel free to sit, stand, whatever you are comfortable with.
Afterwards, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a family meal and communion, and then chili.
Life change doesn't happen in rows. It happens in circle.
That's right. We have a new life group kicking off next week. We have a video.
I can't do anything right. No wonder my boss won't promote me and my wife doesn't respect me. God's not finished with me yet. I can be the man he created me to be at work and at home. I can't believe he's acting like that. What a jerk. He must be having a really hard day. Maybe God put me here to make a difference in his life. I just can't stop doing this. I'm so frustrated with myself. I will always be this way. I can do this through Christ's strength. He will help me overcome. Succeeding at the big things has a lot to do with the little things. Thoughts, words, actions.
Sweet beat, yo. There's a new series next week. Obviously, you saw that. Small things, big difference. Too often we make huge plans and major resolutions, and we get burned out when we can't keep them. We're going to teach the congregation to make small, manageable, incremental changes that really add up. Sounds great. We do have some new life groups kicking off.
Life change doesn't happen in rows. It happens in circle.
Oh, that's so profound, Haley. It's almost like a 30-some-odd-year-old man wrote that. He did. Anyways, so yeah, like we're saying, like awesome things happen in church here, but we're in rows. So when we come together, we get in circles and we talk and we get to know each other, and that's when life changes happen. So we have a new life group.
Saturday with the Skinners and Camerons.
Woo! There's going to be more information at the info center.
3 ways to give: giving box, text, or online.
Giving box is back there, online at forwardpoint.org. And let's get started with some slow motion 5s. Hit up somebody you haven't met or seen before.
I'd like to welcome the band up. Let's get this celebration started.
Woo!
We cry out to you, Jesus. a river of living water, a fountain that never will run dry. It's an open heaven you're releasing, and we will never be denied. 'Cause we're stirring up deep, deep wells. We're stirring up deep, deep waters. We're gonna dance in the river. Dance in the river. 'Cause we're stirring up deep, deep wells. We're stirring up deep, deep waters. We're gonna jump in the river. Jump in the river. Everybody's singing now. Deep cries out to you. Deep cries out to you. We cry out to you, Jesus. Deep cries out to you. Deep cries out to you. We cry out to you, Jesus. We're falling deeper, deeper waters, calling out to you. We're walking into deeper waters, going after you. If he goes to the left, then we'll go to the left. If he goes to the right, then we'll go to the right. We're gonna jump, 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 jump in the river. Jump, 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 everybody. If he goes to the left, then we'll go to the left. If he goes to the right, then we'll go to the right. We're gonna dance, 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 dance in the river. Dance, 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 everybody. If he goes to the left, then we'll go to the left. If he goes to the right, then we'll go to the right. We're gonna jump, 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 jump in the river. Jump, 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 everybody. If he goes to the left, then we'll go to the left. If he goes to the right, then we'll go to the right. We're gonna shout, 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 shout in the river. Shout, 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 everybody now. Deep cries out to you. Deep cries out to you. We cry out to you, Jesus. One more time. Deep cries out to you. Deep cries out to you. We cry out to you, Jesus. He's the one who makes the sun shine. He's the one who puts the moon in the sky. He's the one who hung the stars one by one. He's the one who makes the birds sing. He's the one that makes you dream so high. He's the one who makes me smile day by day. Jesus, you're my superhero. You're my star, my best friend. Jesus, you're my superhero. Jesus, you're my superhero. You're my star, my best friend. Jesus, you're my superhero. You're my star, my best friend. Yeah, 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 yeah. Better than Spider-Man. Yeah, 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 yeah. Better than Superman. Yeah, 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 yeah. Better than Batman. Yeah, 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 yeah. Better than anyone. Jesus, you're my superhero. You're my star, my best friend. Jesus, you're my superhero. You're my star, my best friend. One more. Jesus, you're my superhero. You're my star, my best friend. Jesus, you're my superhero. You're my star, my best friend.
It is fun doing kids songs.
Father Abraham had many sons. Many sons had Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are you. So let's all praise the Lord. Right on. Father Abraham had many sons. Many sons had Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are you. So let's all praise the Lord. Right arm, left arm, Father Abraham
a good time. What a wonderful time. All thanks to God.
Amen.
Water you turned into wine. Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you. None like you. Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you.
Our God is greater.
Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Our God. Water. Water you turned into wine. Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you. None like you. Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Our God. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God. If our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what could stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what could stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what could stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what could stand against? Then what could stand against? Oh, our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God. Our God. And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what could stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what could stand against? Then what could stand against?
church. Let's sing that chorus one more time. Nice and beautiful.
Our God is greater, our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God.
It's okay. You can come in. He won't bite. He's just a small baby. A little shy? Well, that's okay. I am too. Your friends left in such a rush to go tell the world. I think that's how they put it. And what a thing to tell. Did you know an angel visited me too? It's true. And he said that my boy would be great, the Son of God. He said that he would be the King of angels, the King of all. Do you think that they'll understand? Do you think that they'll come to worship him? Will they accept him? Just look around us. It's not exactly a palace, is it? Noisy animals. Hay, out of all things, for a bed. And that stench for everything that he is. Maybe this isn't enough. I find myself just watching him, adoring him. I thought I knew what love was until he came along. My mother gave this blanket to me when I was just a little girl. A gift of love. I wore it out. When we were preparing for the trip to Bethlehem, I told Joseph I wanted to bring it. No, he said. We must pack light. I brought it anyway. The baby needs a blanket. Yes, they will come. The faithful. How could they not? He was born the King of angels. He will be great and mighty. He is all this and more. But when you go tell my young friend, be sure to tell them that he is an incredible gift of love.
Welcome, Forward Point. Welcome, Forward Point. There we go. Wasn't that amazing music? That was the first time we've had Kidman sung live like that, and that just made my day. So thank you guys. You put so much work into that, and I really appreciate it. It was beautiful. My name is Katrina Skinner, and I'm one of the Kidman leaders here at Forward Point. I really appreciate all of you coming and watching me figure this out. Maybe. There we go. Oh, that's better. Much better. Is it going to fall off? Okay. I'm so glad to see you all here. Welcome to all my little friends over here. Usually I'm upstairs in Little Church, and we get so excited because we get to be part of Big Church. Family Sunday is one of the ways that we celebrate families. So on the 5th Sundays during the year, we spend our Sundays together, and we get to have some fun and bring Little Church down here and join all the big people. So I have a message title for you guys today. I'm just going to tell you exactly what everything is about, and then we can all go and eat chili, but that's okay. So it's show up, love well, forgive often. Can you say that with me? Repeat after me. Show up, love well, forgive often. Show up, love well, forgive often. Let's see who can be louder, the kids or the adults. Okay, ready, kids? Show up, love well, forgive often. Okay, you guys got some serious competition here. You ready? Okay, show up, love well, forgive often. That was impressive. That was really. I think we were tied because they were spread out. So I think we're pretty tied, don't you? I think we were good. So a few of us were talking a couple weeks ago about chaotic situations, and I'm sure you've all figured out already that 5th Sundays can sometimes be a little chaotic. And we were discussing chaos in life, and Jimmy said something I really liked. He said, let's not try to control the chaos, let's try to bring Jesus into the chaos. So I want to share a bit of my chaos with you, something many of you know, and that is that Stephen and I had 4 children, 4 and under, by 25. And I think there's a picture, so if you could just think about this for a second. 4 children, 4 and under. Yes, that is my life. For me, that's kind of terrifying. I mean, don't get me wrong, I adore my children. They're absolute perfect angels that never make any mistakes. Not at all. Ever. But I love them dearly, and they're really precious, but a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and twins at the same time is a lot. It was so intense that I think I have a lot of memory loss from those years. I am constantly reminded of stories from my husband and my kids, and I go, I don't remember that. But I'm going to tell you a couple of my memories, and that is the first time that Stephen had to go back to work after I had the twins, and I was feeding the twins on the couch, and Gideon and Kylia started fighting. Not just fighting, but running around the house, screaming. We're talking a 4-year-old and 2-year-old, fighting, hitting each other, all-out war. And I'm sitting there with 2 twins, and there is nothing I can do about it. And I just started crying. And then there was this glow on my front door, and my grandparents walked in the door and saved the moment. There was this magical light that showed up at that moment. Yep, that's in the hospital. And can you see the boys picking the nose of the gorilla at the zoo? Yeah. So the second is the first and the last time that I took them to the playground by myself and realized I had more kids than hands to keep them from falling off things and dying. First and last time. And lastly, Aubrey always had asthma and was usually sick from about Christmas until June, until she was about 8. And a lot of prayers went into her healing. But the very first year, when the twins were about 4 months old, Gideon had just started preschool, and he was in his body becoming immunized to every germ in the public and bringing home all these germs. And the 4 kids began to pass around the flu for 6 months straight. So from December to June, I think I had a total of 1 to 2 weeks of individual days where all the children were healthy. And I just became numb to changing pukey sheets in the middle of the night and wiping snotty noses and holding Aubrey for nebulizer treatment so she could breathe. And I just thought it would never, ever end. And I'm sure by a raise of hands, there's a few parents here who get that, maybe a few, who just feel like it's never going to end, like the kids will always be sick, the sheets will never be dry, the diapers will never be dry, the noses will never be dry, and that was how I felt, that this was never going to end. And I want to say right now, for all the moms and dads, that you have superpowers when it comes to chaos. You can wipe boogie noses and clean up sick children and carry on complete conversations while the kids are screaming in the background. And you can usually tell if the kids are crying, if it's fake or real, if they're safe or hurt. When the kids just need extra love, I mean, they just have superpowers to show up in their kids' lives. And when you love someone, you aren't afraid to enter their mess. And that is the beauty of parents. Now, I'm not sure if all of you had that kind of a childhood, if your parents were wonderful or not, but I want you to know that that is how our God is. Matthew in the New Testament writes about how much the Father cares for us. And I want to show you because this week we celebrated Jesus. And Jesus, the birth of Jesus is Christmas, and Christmas says that God does not want to be distant. God does not want to leave us to go it alone. God wants to show up in our lives, no matter how messy. He loves us so much that he sent his son to die to forgive us for our messes. Beyond the pretty manger sets, of which I have several, is the real story of Jesus, the messy one. And for this, I'm going to need some helpers. So kids, are you ready to help me act this one out? Awesome. So, first, see if this is a good or a bad idea. Stephen tried to get me to wear the headset because he's a wonderful husband. And I don't think it's going to work. So, first I need Mary. Can Mary come up here? Thank you, Justice. So first, his mom was pregnant and not married, and that was very bad at the time. You could be kicked out of your village, your family, or even killed for that. And his parents had to go to Bethlehem, so I need Joseph and a donkey. And they had to go on a really long walk to Bethlehem to register to be counted. And that meant several days of hiking on a donkey with a very pregnant Mary. And when they got to Bethlehem, I need a cow and a goat. Now, I know I have one. There we go. There was no room for them in any of the inns because everyone else was coming to be counted, so they had to stay in a barn with animals and hay. And his visitors, have you ever had visitors in the hospital? Well, I need a shepherd and a sheep. Yeah, come on. So his visitors were shepherders, sheep herders, which were men who spent most of their lives with the sheep in the field. They weren't exactly popular. They didn't always smell nice. They probably didn't know how to talk to people. And politics were messy. The reigning king, where's my king? Even tried to kill baby Jesus after he found out from the traveling wise men. Where's my wise men? There's my wise men. Come on out. That Jesus had been born. So, you guys all got your parts, right? So, you're going to play your part. Hold on 2 seconds. Make sure we got this. So. Okay, you guys ready? I'm going to tell you to go, and then I'm going to say something, and I'll tell you to stop. Ready? This is a exercise in listening in chaos. So Jesus didn't come into a nice time. He came into messy, dirty, noisy time. And it smelled like I didn't really want to replicate the smell. I'm being nice. Didn't they do amazing? Can we give our volunteers a hand? Thank you, guys. You could go back down. You did amazing. Thank you, guys. Carefully, carefully. I love my people. They are amazing. And they just learned this morning. Some of them just found out on the way in. So there was no practice, except for a couple. Our donkey and our Mary and Joseph had to practice because that travel was dangerous. So at the very beginning, Jesus entered into our mess. Did you could all understand what I was saying when they were talking, right? The beauty of the distraction when we come into it, right? So what is your mess? What is our mess? Our mess is scary. Our mess is confusing. Our mess is loud. It's scary. A lot of times, it can be even just a regular day of school. It could be a new job, new friends, new work. Guys, what's something that's scary for you? What's something scary? When you switch schools, yes, that is scary. What's another thing that's scary? Spiders. Ugh. Thank you very much for that one, Jimmy. What else? Yeah, we're going down the wrong road. How about life situations? Speaking in front of people, yes. Lightning, yes. So it's scary. We don't know. Sometimes getting out of bed is scary. Like, what's my day gonna look like? Confusing. Is life often confusing? Is our mess confusing? Where do we go? What do we do? Who's going to be there? What's my mic going to look like? What kids are going to show up for the play today? What? Rain, yes, rain. Rain can be confusing too. Are we going to get soaked? Or is it going to be a light rain? Am I going to lose all my plants? Do we have directions? Did we listen to the directions? Or read the directions? Loud, noisy, noisy and distracting. I mean, how many of us, you walk into a restaurant sometimes and there's a million screens. Now, if you're there for sports, that's good. But, I mean, there's just so many distracting things, noise, lights. There's just, our mess is just, it's scary, it's confusing, it's loud, and yet, Jesus brings his light into our mess. Let's go back to this again. So there's a promise that's one of my favorite that I hold on to. Paul says this when he's writing to the Romans, and he says that we know that in all things, so let's say our scary, confusing, loud, messy things, that God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. And he's done so many things in my life to show me in those bad times, sometimes they start little, that he shows up. And as those things get bigger and bigger, you just realize that he's showing up. And that's what Jesus does, is he tells us to show up. Nothing happens if you aren't there. So the first step is to show up. And he showed up in our chaos. Isaiah says, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given." He showed up into our chaos. So we need to show up. First of all, with God. We need to show up for our time with God, to develop our relationship with him. If we don't show up with God, we won't know God. So our very first and most important relationship is our friendship with God. And second, we need to show up to life, the things we commit to, our friends' lives, our work, our church. It's when life happens. Sometimes I think when I'm upstairs with the kids, there's your on days and your off days, and it's like, what am I doing? And then I see them growing, I see them changing, and the beauty of what they're doing. And it's not the big moments. Sometimes it is the big moments. Sometimes that's all we can do. But it's just that consistency. It's just being with them week after week and building relationships with them. So showing up. I have a star. I have some teens that are going to help me if the kids all want to come up and get a star. And the star is to remind us that Jesus showed up for us, and that we have to show up for the things he wants us to do. So if any adults want a star too, we have enough for adults. But you're going to come up and get a star. So when you see the star, you can think about how Jesus showed up for us. And he wants us to follow his example and show up for things in our life. So sometimes, there's things that God's asked me to do, and I don't want to. I am afraid of it. But if I just remember, first step is just to show up, just be there. And a lot of times he keeps us moving from there. So the second step, does anyone remember it from saying it in the beginning? Love well. Good job. Love well. Jesus came to save us. So once you have your star, now you can come back up and get a heart. And our heart reminds us to love well. And Jesus came to save us and to show us how to love God and to love others. And this is how he says to love. And this is really intense. If you've listened to 1 Corinthians 13, love suffers long and is kind. So love is patient. Love does not envy. Love does not want what other people have. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up. Love is not prideful. Love is not always talking about ourselves. Love does not behave rudely. I think, kids, do you get that one? Do you know how to behave well? Yeah. Love does not seek its own. It is not provoked. It thinks no evil. It does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. Maybe a couple of those things we could do on a regular basis, but to really think about our relationships, especially the people closest to us, are usually the ones that end up on the short end of the stick as far as this, that we forget these. And actually, I bought this from the dollar store. They have a sticker for your wall. So I have this in the bathroom. So when I go in the bathroom, I found verses in the bathrooms work really well. You go in there often and it just kind of works. And I will look at this and I'll see something on there and think, yeah, I haven't been doing very well on that one. And it's hard. So Jesus, he loved well. And so the heart is to remind us to love well. And number 3. Anyone remember number 3? Forgive often. Okay, guys, now you can get your cross. And this one's, as much as showing up and loving well is powerful and hard, Jesus came to break the curse of sin and death and set us free, to live in love and to have relationship with our Heavenly Father. And as he grew and began his ministry, he demonstrated the Father's love through teaching and miraculous healings and setting people free. And he brought so much wisdom and life and joy that the multitudes followed him. He was doing amazing things. If we did the things that Jesus was doing, I think it would be incredible. And yet, here he is hanging on the cross, dying for us. And as he's hanging on the cross, dying for us in pain and agony, and he's up there trying to reconcile us to God and do something amazing for us, he says his last 7 words were, "Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing." When I've been in pain, I usually am not a very kind person, and I'm usually not thinking about the people around me. And for him who had the power to get off the cross and not be in pain, and yet still be in pain and still remember to forgive people, that's a pretty high bar, and yet he says that we can follow him. So the cross is for us to remember to forgive often, that Jesus did that for us. So I want you to remember to, anyone remember? Show up. Can everyone say show up? I want you to remember to love well, and I want you to remember to forgive often. Don't hold on to those things, or those things will hold on to you. So can everyone stand up? This is a KidMin message. This is for our kids. I want you adults to see what we do with the kids. We're interactive and we're short. And we eat. So if everyone can find a hand, grab the hand of someone around you, because this is about family. This is about being in community with people. And I want to close in prayer. I want you to think as you go into the new year, what is something that God's asked you to show up for? What is, who is someone that he wants you to learn to love better? Maybe it's yourself. Maybe it's remembering to love him. Maybe it's remembering to love yourself. I want you to think about who you need to forgive. Sometimes situations happen in our life that we don't understand. The mess. That was actually perfect timing. Sometimes things happen in our life that we don't understand. We don't understand what God's doing. Sometimes we have to forgive God. And this isn't because God did something wrong. Sometimes we're holding something we don't understand. And we have to forgive. And it isn't forgiving him because he did it wrong. Sometimes we have to forgive what we're holding on to. And that way we can show up in our relationship. So this goes into a circle. Sometimes we don't feel like we can forgive something. And remember that forgiveness isn't always reconciliation. But forgiveness is required. And sometimes when we don't feel like we can forgive, we just have to show up. We just have to say, I forgive you. And it starts happening. So this is all circular. They all work together. As I've been thinking about this and pondering this message for the last couple weeks, those were the three things that kept rattling over and over in my head. I felt like God was just driving them in like a drum beat in my head. He said, show up, love well, forgive often, just over and over and over. And I really feel that is the message as we move into the new year, and the message that kind of even goes into what Jimmy and Stephen are going to be talking about in the next few weeks. Just the small things that we do to grow in our relationship with God. So I want you to think about those things. Show up, love well, and forgive often. So God, I just pray for everyone here, all our big people and our little people. I ask that you would bless them as they go out. I ask that you would help them to think through the small things this year. Maybe not the big things, but the little things that they do every day that lead to you and lead us to develop our relationship with you and our friendships and our families and our relationships. I pray that your Spirit would come and be part of us as a body and draw us closer as a family, draw us closer to each other and closer to you, and just continue to lead us in the way that you would have for us to be your light in our community. I thank you for the light that you were when you came that night, that messy night so long ago. I thank you for the light that you were when you died on the cross for us, and the love that was sandwiched in between. I just pray that you would shine that light on us and help us to be that light for those around us. In Jesus' name, amen. So thank you everyone for coming. If you need prayer, a couple of us will be available to pray for you. For the rest of you, a few instructions on chili. So the ladies have been setting up food in the cafe, so please don't go in the cafe yet. What we're going to do is, if you can help the guys, they may already be working on it, is to set up the tables. And then we are going to sit together and do communion at the tables before we eat. So please, if you are going out, stay, help set up the tables, and then we'll get everyone seated. We're going to do communion, and then we will open the doors and line up and start our chili fest. So thank you all for coming, and let's go eat some chili.